I'm sure you'll be surprised there's no montage. Dan the Humorous was born in this day because this is TEDx Diop. It's meant for people who are born and bred in Diop. I wasn't. I'm a D-line child. Hello? Yeah. That's I have line inside. You don't have line. You're just in the Diop. I'm on the other side. Whether I call it Diop line, but then had to still honor the request. Samuel Dixon, the last speaker. In his introduction, I didn't know he studied gas engineering. In my time, I'm sure he would know, when I was leaving secondary school, we were supposed to be the pioneer students of gas engineering when we were writing JAM. That was actually my first choice. And that time they used to tell us, you will work in LNG, And from time to time, I always think about it, wow, sure I know Miss Road, I go LNG, but to now see some open farm, I'm like, thank God I didn't lose. Like you went through the whole thing, spend those 5 years in Uniport, you probably will be like the second or third or fourth set, and you open farm. It's okay. And so one beautiful thing, I am in love with TEDx events. I like to watch TEDx videos most of the time, and I've been around some places in Lagos and Abuja particularly. In fact, one time I was in Uyo. Is it Uyo or somewhere in the east, Nugos, I can't remember. And then I just heard from somebody at the hotel reception that they are going for a TEDx event. I just, joined them. And why do I like TEDx events? Because even though the speakers have a very short time, as it were, but they are able to tell you stories that apply to them, even though they have certain topics to speak on, but stories that apply to them that have a beginning, middle, and the end. Now, I have come to find out that a lot of people pay more attention to the beginning and the end. They are able to tell how you started and how you arrived. But in my opinion, I believe that the most important aspect of any of those things is the middle. The middle is where you have the process. The middle is where you have the teething process. The middle is where you have the trials and tribulations and all of that. Just yesterday, I just saw a random video on Instagram, some preacher, and even though I didn't pay attention entirely to what he said because I just, swiped, but he briefly talked about God sent Abraham to the land where he was with the promise of prosperity and everything. And then, but shortly after Abraham went to that land, there was famine. Or is it famine? Anyway, hunger. He died. So there was that thing, famine or famine, in that land. And then much later, Abraham prospered. And it shocked me because I found out that I really didn't get that part of the story, because all most of us would know was that Abraham moved somewhere and Abraham prospered. So you can see a beginning, you can see an end. There was actually a middle. The middle is actually the process. So in every success story you hear, you've heard from Maoga here talking about his printing and all of that. A couple of other people are still coming. My ace is here. Auntie Hilda is here. Even Jojo, he's left. He's here. And it was Jojo's story that actually, got me. So in every story you hear, there is a middle. There is a process. So in your story, in everybody's story, even though you have your eyes at the end, you are starting from somewhere. Trust your middle. Trust your process, because it is what comes out of that process that will reinforce the future, that will make the end sweet. Most times when you watch movies, it has a lovely starting. It has an end where actor kill boss. But if you check in the middle, sometimes boss, then they torture him. Actor, then they torture him. Actor, they wound. The hero of every movie, at some point you feel like it's like this guy is not really the character. Maybe we are waiting. Even Jesus himself, at some point, John the Baptist sent a message. Are you sure you are the guy? Maybe we should wait for next election. So the point of all I'm saying with this very short time I have is that life Every phase of your life, every aspect of your life, every journey, every desire, every ambition, anything you want to achieve has a beginning, has a middle, and end. But trust your middle. Hold your middle. Value your process. Value that phase very well, because that is what will beautify your end. Thank you very much.